What's up, guys? I hope you're doing well. I've been reading more into like everything that's been going on in Russia and Ukraine and some of our response to it as well. In this case, we're banning Russian oil, apparently, and we're going to go straight to a Forbes article I was reading. And one thing to note too that they do bring up in the article is the United States and the European Union are in drastically different. I don't know if I'd say drastically different, but they're in different situations when it comes to energy. And at least they state that here. I know energy prices are orders of magnitude larger over there right now for various reasons. I don't remember exact numbers, but I'm pretty sure that's the case for natural gas. Um, I know it's more expensive. Like more gasoline is more expensive over there, but I don't remember exact numbers at the moment, to be honest. Um, but anyways, so on Tuesday, Joe Biden announced a ban on Russian oil imports. In the most recent sanction to stop the conflict in Ukraine, a decision that has piqued curiosities to invest in renewable energy. Fair enough. I mean, if we're going to get rid of one energy source, fill it with another because you still need the energy. So, who really cares how you get it? So, we're banning all imports of Russian oil and gas and energy. That means Russian oil will no longer be acceptable at U.S. ports, and the American people will deal another blow to Putin's war machine. Um, okay. I mean, no comment on there. My biggest thing right here was the whole like defending freedom is going to cost. Like all of a sudden, when it has to do with a foreign country, we actually care about this. At least the administration cares about this. I mean, we're just not going to deal with the hypocrisy on that one. At least not comment too much on it right now. Um, you know, yeah, too touchy of a subject still. It's still pretty recent. But anyways, while only 3.5% of oil was imported from Russia last year, the U.S. did import more of its gasoline from Russia, 21%, than from any other country in 2021. So more of its gas import more of its gasoline. So I'm assuming Russia's our largest importer in terms of just raw gasoline. From what we import, I guess. Um, which is really that's the one you actually put in your car. Because I mean, I know there's different types of oil, like almost like different grades and stuff, not like just the grades you see at the gasoline, like the pre or the pump where you had like regular and premium and that kind of stuff. There's actual different like types of oil used for different things. Kind of like with coal, I know there's coking coal, which is used for like steel production and other things. That's another thing that I've reading this article. I've realized I really need to get into more because it's one of those things I've always been interested in it. But now that I'm doing these videos and everything, it's like okay, now I'll what I find and like read to learn about the different types of like how the industries work and everything. I can just do here as well, and hopefully you guys can find it as well. Another thing that makes me rather raise an eyebrow, and I don't know if it's because I've never used Forbes. It has to do with the article like itself, not the content of the article. But like this Q.AI for iOS stuff, um, ads all over the place. And I'll wait until we get to the bottom of the article for the rest of that comment. So this is more on the EU. So the EU is likely to take a more considered approach and not announce a complete ban tomorrow, but look at ways to reduce its reliance on Russian energy. Obviously, I mean, you can do all the jawboning and virtue signaling you want, but like when you literally like if you have diminished reserves, and I don't remember the exact extent all this stuff is down in terms of or for the European Union, but there's only so much talking you can do. Um, to just kind of do that virtue signaling and everything until you're like, okay, we need the energy to literally survive. Because unfortunately, Russia has a lot of commodities, a lot of commodities. Same with Ukraine. So the IEA, which is the International Energy Agency, the whole point of this article was basically now that we're getting rid of Russian oil, maybe this gives an excuse for renewable energy to shine and everything else. So again, I mean, it's fine. I mean, if you're gonna literally ban one form of energy, then you got to replace. It's best to you have to at least attempt to replace it somehow, or people are going to get angry because it's one of those people will whine. I mean, whine and people will get hurt. Hell, it's hurting me too. I mean, even with gas prices, or especially with gas prices. It's one of those. I work in a trade, and filling up the truck to go to different work sites, filling it up from empty. It's like I've never paid that much for gas in one go. Like I paid $130 for a tank of gas. I was like, I'm glad it's a company truck. That's all I got to say about that. But it's still like, just wow. I never thought. And it's not even because gas here when I filled up the tank in the truck was like 425 ish, somewhere in there. Um, so it's just wow. But the IEA anticipates renewables will make up at least 95% of the increase in global power capacity through 2026. So that's 4 years. We'll say five, because it's only March. So like 4 3/4 ish. That's a pretty big increase considering of where they are now. And so it's one of those things. If it's possible and you can do it, my thing with all of this kind of stuff is there are no solutions, only trade-offs, which is something you hear from Thomas Sowell in his books and such, which is true. I mean, you can't just be like, we're going to switch to renewable energy tomorrow. Well, what's the trade-off for that? It's like, there are consequences to your actions. And that's not necessarily saying that they're wrong. It's just saying you have to be aware of those consequences, and you have to do a cost benefit analysis on it. Like, is the benefit of going to renewable energy tomorrow, or in this case, 2026 to this specific capacity, is it worth what it'll cost? And that's where you get the difference in opinion. And to be completely honest, on me personally, I'm not 100% sure on if it's worth the cost. That's part of the reason for these videos and everything else is I'm researching more and I'm trying to find them, and I'm actually looking at trying to find some like either white papers or looking through the archives, because I have more of a scientific background, actually looking at like peer-reviewed articles and stuff. I've done that for a couple years at least. And so I'm more comfortable looking through scientific peer-reviewed articles than stuff like this, just because I have a lot more experience with it. So I'm thinking about, I'm in the middle of trying to find articles pertaining, like actual peer-reviewed scientific articles pertaining to this kind of stuff, and also doing videos with those as well. Just stuff I'm looking for. So yeah, basically going into the car industry too is like the automotive industry is trying to go electric. Nothing new. That's pretty much all that is. I mean, the Chevrolet is coming back with their Bolt, that electric car that was suspended over battery issues. I don't remember. Is that the one that caught on fire all the time? But whatever. As long as they fixed it. But this is why I brought up the whole questionable thing with the this Q.AI, because I'm not really sure about it. Because it says Q.AI is aware that the world is shifting away from dirty energy sources, internal combustion engines, and wasteful production. And that's why we created the clean Oh my gosh. The Clean Tech Kit. So investors can put their money behind a group of leading companies in clean energy, electric vehicles, and other environmentally friendly innovations, and just so on, and then download it and stuff. So it's like is this a different? Yeah, it's a different thing. Um, so go away. They end the article itself like there's no distinct break or whatever. It's like this is just like seems to, at least to me, seems like full on just marketing. Like this is a whole, not kind of a sales pitch, I guess you could say. What is that called? Sales copy. That's what it seems to me. um and I'm in no means a copywriter, but it's just what it looks like to me. And so it kind of raised my eyebrows seeing that right away. um Anyways, that's all I got for this one. I guess biggest takeaway is we're banning Russian oil. We don't really know what. And then again, this is just a Forbes article without actually reading. I'm assuming it's from like executive order or whatever. He seems to like those. um, but yeah, without going too much into the details, which I'll try to find because that's something that I'm kind of interested in. To try to get like exact details of what we're doing, because a lot of the times it's kind of like this is what the media is telling you, which is true, but you're missing a little bit of depth. Because which obviously you're going to miss some of that depth because you can't give a whole speech in this short of an article, which is not the point. Because then people like to fall victim to the whole, what is it, TLDR, too long didn't read. I did that for the longest time. I still do that sometimes, but it's just, you don't want to waste your time. So anyways, that's it for this one. Hope you guys have a good night, and I will stop the screen share first. But I hope you guys have a good night, and I will see you guys on the next video.